Tito's handmade vodka is a corn-based vodka, so it's gluten-free. It's distilled 6 times. It's made in an old-fashioned pot still, which is kind of how they do the original single malt scotches and French cognacs. And I'd seen these microbreweries and boutique wineries, and I had this idea that the next thing would be a micro distillery. When I first started out trying to figure out how to make vodka, I went to the library, and this was pre-internet. And so there wasn't any internet to research anything, and I went to the library, and there was almost like there were no books, like there had been a book burning during Prohibition, and there were no books on how to distill. Then I went down to the Institute of Texan Cultures down in San Antonio, and I was trying to figure out how to build a still. And so I went and got a bunch of pictures of Texas Rangers that were busting stills during Prohibition. And I just kind of looked at all the photos of the stills and got copies of them. And so my first still I just made, where it was kind of like right in the middle between all the moonshine stills that I saw. So that's kind of how I figured out how to build my first still. And so really I ended up just going to the science library and getting boiling temperatures for the different alcohols and stuff, and just kind of started just cooking it off and just tried to just learn on my own. And so I built this place and built a 175-gallon still, and then built a 350 and then a 650, and just kind of kept going from there. When I first went out and tried to raise money for Tito's handmade vodka, nobody put money in because they thought I was crazy and you couldn't do a distillery in Texas. And so I ended up just kind of racking up my credit cards. When I first started, I had 19 credit cards, no employees, chain hoisting barrels to the ceiling, gravity draining them in the stills, and mixing batches with a big stainless steel paddle and stuff, and filling them up one at a time with a little 1/4-inch valve, and putting Elmer's glue on the labels and stuff. It was just a mess. I did that for years. You know what, it's really all about the product inside the bottle. And so we've kept the whole handmade process, where we sit there and we do the same thing with a 16-gallon still as we do with a 650-gallon still, we do with the other stills that we have here on site. I think our attitude is kind of more a little company attitude, where it's kind of like you give people a great product at a fair price, and that resonates with them. It's not a cash flow deal, it's more like a concept or an idea or a vehicle. It's something that we do, that we enjoy doing, and like my employees enjoy doing it. We're kind of more like a big family. Those folks out there that are trying to figure out what to do, make the list. You know, figure it out and do that. Whether you end up making a ton of money or not, you end up doing something that you love to do every day, and that's really kind of what's more important. Well, I'm Tito Beverage. I make Tito's handmade vodka. It's distilled 6 times, winner of the World Spirits Competition, smooth and clean. And I guess my idea is just to make a nice product for people to come home and in this information age and relax a little bit. So, cheers.